Welcome to the Whole Lotta Woman podcast, where we explore, explain, and discuss what makes us a whole lot of women in today's society. I created the Whole Lotta Woman brand to embrace the four traits that I feel make someone a whole lot of woman in today's world, and those are beauty, brain, strength, and standards. We'll be covering a variety of topics from relationships to real estate. If you would like to join this sisterhood, please subscribe, share with a friend, and stay tuned for more.
I won't be defined, stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of. I've been refined, beauty's divine. All things in God's time. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman.
Hello, ladies. Today we're going to introduce my new co-host. Her name is Joy Larkin. She's going to be co-hosting the Narcissist series with me. She's a narc abuse coach, or narcissist abuse coach. Let me say it all the way out. And the name of her company is Live Narc Free. So I want to introduce Joy and let her say a little bit about herself and her company.
Yes, hi everyone. Hi ladies. Yes, my name is Joy Larkin and I am a narcissist abuse coach. I'm so happy that Nikita allowed me to come on her show. And yeah, I'm basically here to talk about my experience dealing with narcissistic abuse and, how it has changed my life for the better. And I just hope that it can help someone that needs to hear the message.
And we really appreciate you for that. And so,
Definitely.
being a coach, tell them a little bit about what that entails.
Yeah, so basically, I coach victims and survivors that have dealt with narcissistic abuse, whether it's men, women, young adults. And, I just help them and show them ways and methods to how to heal from narcissistic abuse, how to move on, and basically how to live a happier, healthier, and a productive life. And I have specific courses and coaching, support sessions, readings, and books that can help with that as well.
Okay, yes, and I know that'll be very beneficial to a lot of women. I was actually telling one of my friends about you the other day. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when we play the podcast, there's some few people that we want to hear this message that you're sending out.
That's good. Hey, the more the merrier, and just hoping that it can help someone. So,
And ladies, to start the series off, we're going to start by just giving you overview, identifying some tactics and some ways that to identify narcissists in your life. So should we start with the tactics, Joy?
Yeah, we can start with the tactics.
Okay. Do you want to take over or?
Yeah, so I can just kind of talk about the ones that I'm most familiar with or that are the most common, and then if you want to kind of, you could say what you know and kind of go from there. So, yeah, so basically narcissistic tactics or things that and behaviors in which a narcissist will interact with you when you first meet them. So basically, the beginning stages is like love bombing. So this is basically where you get like excessive attention and compliments from this narcissistic person. They'll begin to like groom you and they'll idolize you, especially like in a dating phase. This is the part where they pretend like they're falling in love with you and they want you to fall in love with them.
Yeah, you're the best thing in the
right?
world.
Yeah, you're the best thing in the world. You're the most beautiful I mean, you might be beautiful, but I mean, they're right about that. But they're like,
over the top.
Yeah, they're over the top.
You giving goddess 20 minutes of meeting me. Like.
Yes, they're just really doing the most. But the thing about it that you have to realize is that it's not genuine. It's really fake. It's only to get you, into the relationship and to manipulate you, basically. So you do just want to keep that in mind. But yeah, they'll give you special attention, flattery, that sort of thing. And that's a time where a lot of us victims and survivors, we really do enjoy it. And we miss that because we think that that's the narcissist, but it's really not,
Yeah. And we call it, we're thinking it's just the honeymoon phase.
Right.
We think that's who he is. And it's like,
Yeah.
Nah. I had one guy tell me,
it was just when I saw you come off the elevator, it was just like a special connection. I just
What?
felt it in my chest. I was like, I
What?
mean, okay, you are wearing me. He just kept trying to say special connection, a special connection. And I'm like,
Oh, come on.
it's not that. It's
It's
not
not that serious.
yeah, and I could tell, and then because he wasn't that good with it, you know what I mean? So it was
Uh-huh.
like I could tell that you're acting like
Mm-hmm.
you think you're winning me over. I know
Yeah.
what you think you're doing, and I can see right through it. And it's working.
Right.
It's actually embarrassing when you can see through it. Like
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
just kind of
oh
like, can you do better? Like,
yeah, like try something else.
try something else. Like, make it more believable.
Yeah.
So you have that phase, and then you have the part where they start to devalue you.
Mm.
And this is a hurtful experience, because you're confused, because you might be still stuck in the idolization phase, but they'll soon will give you a silent treatment. This is basically punishment for not doing what the abuser wants you to do. Or there'll be like long periods of time where you may not hear from the narcissist. And again, this is a form of manipulation. It's a form of
Mhm.
control, and it's basically to punish you for not doing what the narcissist wanted you to do, essentially. And then you also have stonewalling, which is basically, leaving an argument with like the words are left unsaid. There's no conclusion. There's no like peace made. It's just
Oh,
kind
I
of,
didn't know there was a name for that part.
yeah, yeah. I actually didn't know it either.
I know exactly. So it's just up in the air.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, there's some, like, you're ghosting the person. There's no closure. There's no response. There's no comments. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, like, what happened? Like. So a lot of abusers will do this to their victims, especially like if they want you to kind of like obsess over them, start to
Uh-huh.
ruminate over them, and just kind of, just really focus on them. And it's very abusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also have, this could actually happen during the love bombing stage, but this is the triangulation that a lot of abusers will do. Yeah, this would happen to me all the time with the narcissists that I dealt with. And even my aunt that I lived with for 5 years, she would do
Uh-huh.
this with triangulate me with her sons all the time, to make me feel less than. But with the male narcissists, what they will do is they do this because they want you to fight for their attention. They want to make you feel insecure and unworthy and make you feel not good enough. So they'll be like constantly comparing you to like their exes, or other friends, or narc harems or flying monkeys that could be around the narcissist. Again, it's to make you feel less than, help make you have like a low self-esteem, make you not feel
Mm-hmm.
confident in yourself, and that you have to fight for the narcissist. Like, you're going to start to try to compete for the narcissist's
Yep.
attention, and that's not something that you should do, especially like if a person is really for you, because they're not going to be making you feel like you have to do all this stuff in order to please them and to impress them.
Right. And you'll never permanently win that competition either
Not at
way.
all, because the
Mm.
narcissist wants to make it a competition. Like, you're never going to be the only person that's dealing with the narcissist. They're going to have several other people at all times. So you do
Y-
just want to keep that in mind.
Yep. You just get your time in the sun.
Yeah, that is so true. It's
That's
sad though, because some of us, we really believe the lies of the narcissist. Like, we're like, oh, we're gonna be the only one. We're gonna get married and live happily
yep.
ever after, have children. It's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
And the confusing part, I feel like, for a lot of women or just people in general, is that all the things they praised you on with the love bombing,
mhm.
that's what they used to devalue
Yes.
you with. So
Hmm.
I went from being on a goddess level of beauty to I'm not cute. You don't even want to go out in public with me because I'm not up to par. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so how did I go from this pedestal to beneath your feet in 2 days?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and nothing happened. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, and I had the experience of the narcissist after he did the love bombing phase. He would always pick on my weight. Like, he'd be like, "Oh, you need to lose a couple pounds," or, "Oh, you sure you're not going to go to the gym," and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, you're going to wear your hair like this," or,
See, it's so
yeah,
subtle. It's
it's
so
very
subtle that
subtle. Yep.
it'll
Mhm.
have you checking yourself. Like when you in the bathroom in the mirror by yourself, now you double thinking. You looking like,
Yes.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll create an anxiety within
Yes.
itself. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like narcissists are dangerous because no matter how much education you have and stuff like that, if you identify a narcissist and you think you can work through it, it's going to end up bringing you down because
Mm-hmm.
they slick. They're so slick. It's like you don't even realize you being devalued until you, because you might think it's you.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's your idea that you don't look as good no more, or that, well, maybe I am forgetful, maybe I am, you know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
just, you start blaming yourself, and like that silent treatment.
Yes.
I had a guy that I was talking to only for about 2 months, and girl, he asked to move in with me, right? So and
What?
it's the one that I said was doing too much. I could tell that he was putting on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I let him come to, because I live in Charlotte, I let him come to town one weekend. We had a good time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I made him get a hotel room. He said he wanted to come back the next weekend. Okay, came back, enjoyed ourselves. But you're still putting on too much though, but it's cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm still talking to you about to my homegirls about you. Okay,
Right.
so next thing you know, all of a sudden he wants to move to Charlotte, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that was fine because he said that in the earlier stages of us talking that he had been thinking about it. It's Charlotte. A lot of people move here. You know what I mean? Like, that's,
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep Charlotte. And so then all of a sudden it's like, oh, can I come and stay with you in Bella for a while? Me and my dog. I was like,
What?
well, what do you mean? Because he had an
Yeah.
interview up here, but the thing is, I knew he bombed that interview because of what he had on. He had on sneakers and jeans and stuff like that, and I had to wrap my mind around that. That in itself told me, oh, we're not on the same level.
Right. You got to
Like,
dress up.
yes, like we too
Got to be
old to be
professional.
wearing. Yeah, I'm like, now you too old to think sneakers is acceptable to any interview, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told him, well, because the way he hit me with, like, out the blue, like, oh, can I stay with you and Bella? Now, you've been telling me you gonna stay with your nephew. You've been telling me that you got money saved and you can get an apartment. Why are you hitting me with this? And so I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if you talk about for a couple weeks, yeah, but I said, like, as far as like waiting for an apartment to get ready, like 2 weeks, yeah, I said, but as far as us prematurely moving in together, no, I can't do that. And I knew
Mm-hmm.
I had to say it clear like that because I had just got out of a situation where I had let somebody move in after 2 months of talking, and then 3 years later, you know what I mean,
Oh
it was crazy,
yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
had, my backbone was strong. I was like, no. So it was late night, so I really didn't get another text from him that night. I was thinking, oh, he a little embarrassed, you know, maybe, you know. So I text him the next day, like, hey, the regular morning text, didn't get a response. So then I text him
Oh.
again when I knew he was gonna be on break. Hey, what's up? No response. That third
What?
text, because I ain't chasing you, I said, hit me up when you free. That's the last thing I said. So I'm telling my girl, like, he ain't hit me back. I get on Facebook, I see you been on live. That means your phone ain't broke. So I take that
Mm.
as you just don't want to talk to me. And if that is the
Yeah.
case, I will receive that. Girl, 3 days later, after me not blowing him up, okay,
Mhm.
he calls me, girl. I'm riding down the street. I had just got off work. I said, let me pull over because I need some energy for this. I need to focus on this conversation because this is about to be good. I can tell.
Oh
Like, I can
Lord.
tell. And he had the little soft voice on, you know, the little weak, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hey. And he was like, I ain't heard from you. I was like, I know. And I was like, I ain't heard from you. He was like, but it's been 3 days, kid. I said, I know you didn't call me back in 3 days. He was like,
Mhm.
well, if I knew something was wrong with you, I would still be calling you. I said, look, I text you. I told you to hit me when you free. I saw on Facebook that you was live, healthy and living. Your phone won't broke. You didn't want to talk to me. I said, I'm sorry if that's what your ego needed. I
Mhm.
said, but if I know you didn't want to talk to me, why would I blow you up? I said, you literally just wanted me to chase you so you could
Right.
continue to ignore me. So
Mhm.
that's just a real life example of that daggone silent treatment, and
Mhm.
that how they really, really expect that. Like, how you call me with the puppy dog voice because I ain't blow you up and chase you down for you to ignore me. It didn't work
Yes. Mhm.
because I wasn't locked in the way he thought
He
I
thought
was.
you was, right. Like he
Because that,
couldn't manipulate you and control you like how he wanted to.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how some people are, unfortunately. And
Yep.
that actually kind of leads me into my next one where they kind of practice the crazy making so they can like twist your words and change events to make it seem like you're crazy, like you're the
Oh
problem,
gosh.
so
Yes.
a lot of narcissists will do that. And then they actually do a lot of projection. So they may project
Mm-hmm.
like their low self-esteem onto you. They can project their negative
Yep.
energy onto you, just whether in conversations, they can project envious and jealousy onto you. They may lie. They lie a lot. Like they're really like pathological liars.
Oh
And
yeah.
then a lot of them, they will drain your energy too. Like you can feel exhausted from like talking to them
Mhm.
or just hanging out with them and being around them. They dump all of their issues and problems onto you to where you feel like, man, like what just happened? like,
Right. Right. I just came for brunch.
right. Like that would actually happen to me, especially both the male narc, but mainly like my aunt narcissist. Like she would pretend like she wanted to like hang out with me or spend time with me. And by the time I was done hanging out with her, I would feel so tired and so exhausted. I'm like, why do I feel like this is not normal? I would
Mm-hmm.
always say that to myself because I had a friend of mine who her and we still friends to this day. She's from Inglewood, California. But whenever I would be around her, I would not feel that same type of way. I would be like energized and I felt supported. I felt loved and cared about. But I'm like, wait, with my aunt, that's my family. Like I'm not adopted. Like this is blood family. And she would be treating me just like trash. Like I didn't mean anything. Like I wasn't good enough. And so, a lot of them, they'll drain your energy and they will project their negativity onto you. So those are other, tactics from a narcissist. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Could you
yeah.
talk a little bit more about triangulation?
Yes. This one is actually really hurtful because you're not really expecting this from a person that you're dating or whether it's a family or a friend or whatever. But yeah, it's just more like they want you to fight for their attention. They want you to fight for their love. They want you to fight for their admiration, and they just want to make it seem like, oh, they're the prize, like they're worthy of being fought over, they're worthy of having all of your attention. And like in the midst of it, again, you can feel exhausted, you can feel drained, you can feel like there's always a competition, like you always have to
Mm-hmm.
please the narcissist and fight for them, and you got to prove yourself to them.
Right.
It's just like, no, you're not supposed to be doing that in like a relationship or whether it's family or friends. And
Yeah.
you don't feel like you can be yourself, or you feel like there's something
Yeah.
wrong with you, like you're not good enough. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
So
in this, I'm sorry to cut you
no,
off.
you're good.
No, so in the family dynamic, like you said, your aunt was the narc and your
Mhm.
cousin was the other person you were
Triangulate.
triangulated with.
Mhm.
In a relationship, ladies, is more like you and the side chick. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
So it's that
exactly.
side chick that can't
Hmm.
never go away. That best friend that
Hmm.
always pops up. That's always a part of the situation.
Yeah.
And now let me ask you about this, Joy. These male narcs and their mothers. I hear that's a big thing. Like,
Yes. Yeah, it's the worst. It's horrible. Hmm.
yeah, because I was like, I hear the moms, they make the guys even worse
Oh
because the
yeah.
moms birth the narc and they're usually narcs too.
Hmm. Yeah, like you have narcissistic mothers, and a lot of them, they like to make their children's like mini me's. So
Mm-hmm.
like mini narcs or full blown narcs. And a lot of the mothers, they will control their children and manipulate their children to, just focus on them. And they control them using finances, or they may control them with having withholding attention or giving them attention. Or sometimes if they don't do what they want, if the mother-in-law is not getting her way, or just the mother, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
is not getting her way, then she will abandon that child or mistreat them, make them feel like the black sheep. And then when the son is dating the mother, she won't like the girlfriend. She will try to make it seem like, oh, she's not good enough. She'll try to compare the girlfriend to her and try to
Mm-hmm.
influence the son, like, oh, she's not good enough for you. I don't like her. She doesn't cook this way, or, you know, she has this background. She doesn't make this amount of money, or, you know, she's the mother-in-law or the mother is very materialistic and will project her own insecurities on that, the spouse or girlfriend or whatever. Because you do have some narc mothers where the son is not a narcissist, but then you have others of them that are narcissists, you know. And so again, the mother is in control of everything. Like, she doesn't want her son to have a life. It has to be focused solely on the mother.
Yeah, because I was like, so, and they see that new woman as just taking the control from them.
Yes, she sees her as competition. She sees her as somebody to get rid of. She, as soon as she meets the girlfriend, it's like she starts a vendetta. Like, okay, I got to get rid of her because she's taking all the attention away from me. Like, I'm not in the spotlight anymore. I got to get rid of her at any means, you know. And then she's constantly like whispering stuff into the son's ear, saying like, oh, you see how she did this, or you see how she cooked that, or you see how she treats the babies or whatever, or
every little thing.
Yeah, she just tries to twist it. But what's interesting though, the mother can love bomb her children and like the potential like spouse or whatever. So like she gives her special attention. It's like really sweet. It may like buy stuff for her, or just really spoil the daughter, or I mean the, you know, the girlfriend, and in hopes to tricking her into thinking like, oh, she really cares about her, she loves her, she wants to get to know her. Because what they do, they like to prive information out of
I was about to say, as soon as you let down that guard.
Yeah, as soon as you let down that guard, then that's when they start to re-traumatize you, because they want to know what gets you, like what hurts you.
Them triggers.
Yeah, they want to know the triggers. They want to know your weak spots. And so then once they find out, they're like, okay, cool, like I got them. And so that's when they can start to kind of go in for the kill and just start to re-traumatize you basically. And to get what they want to do is they want to get you to react to them so they can play the victim, so they can get their son to leave you or break up the relationship and all that stuff. So
be like, see how evil she is.
Yeah, exactly. They try to turn it around against you, when in fact that mother is the evil one, because she can't even like get to know that daughter for who she really is. Like, she just automatically sees her as a threat because she's probably younger, has more potential, you know, and
make her son happier.
Right. She doesn't like that. The mother feels like she's the only one that can make her son happy. So,
and that's crazy. Now, have you ever came across a case where you had a woman and a man in a relationship? The man has a narcissistic mom, but he's not a narcissist. Do you guys have to try to show the guy like it's your mom?
That actually did happen to me. But yeah, so what will happen is, if the son is not a narcissist, if he is healthy enough, then he can see through the mother and what she's doing. But a lot of the times they don't want to see through it because they haven't dealt with their inner child issues, meaning, so they know that their mother is an abuser, that she's toxic, but because, you know, they still want the attention from the mother, they still want to be accepted and they want to be approved from the mother, they're going to go against what they know is right, because they're still looking for that acceptance. So they still haven't healed whatever happened to them in their past. And so they can, if going against the abuser in their mind is like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, I'm doing something bad, because in a sense they're still like their 10-year-old self, their 9-year-old self. You know what I mean? They've been conditioned to think that how their mother is behaving is normal. But if you're coming to the relationship, you're like, no, that's not normal. But if that son hasn't done that inner healing, then they're going to automatically just go along with the abuser. So what will happen is they will actually choose their mother over you, which did happen to me. And it was a very hurtful experience, but it did teach me a lot about myself and others. And I just took it as, hey, it's just something that I needed to learn, you know? So.
Yes. Are there any other tactics we need to talk about?
So, you know, like, I think we talked a lot about the devaluation phase, and then the discard phase is, you know, when you will, they will, they will discard you, you know, and so, you know, they'll just kind of ghost you, like I said, not giving you any closure, and then they will, because you might think it's over, right? Like, they discard you, maybe they could be with another supply, like basically another victim.
They'll be back, girl.
Right. So they have the hoovering tactic. So that's basically, they try to get you back into the relationship, or they'll try to get some sort of reaction or get your attention to see like what you're up to see if you're missing them, because they don't really want to let you go, really. Like they still want to have you in their life, but they're toxic and they're unhealthy. And it's just kind of like, you're not going to be a side chick, because that's what it was for me, like many, many years ago when I dealt with the first narcissist, the male narc. And then you have like the flying monkeys. So be aware of that. People that will try to reach out to you, like third parties that will try to get you back in contact with the narcissist. You may have people gang stalking you like on social media. So you do just kind of want to keep that in mind. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. You will obsess over the narcissist.
Because you conditioned to run after them in a certain kind of way,
Absolutely. Like, yeah. Oh, and then you will you'll have some withdrawals too. You'll feel some withdrawals after dealing with a narcissist. But I want to say those are the main like tactics and what you will experience when dealing with a narcissist. So
and ladies, they will come back when they see you with somebody else.
Yes. They will.
All the things that he didn't say was wrong with him when you was with him. Okay. All of a sudden he know all the stuff to fix, and he's gonna be the best man he can be. And that's until that other man is completely out the window and don't want you no more. And then he's not gonna want you anymore either. And you just gonna be by yourself.
Yeah, because and this happens to a lot of my clients. The new supply really gets a lot of them. Like, that's a big thing. Yeah, because they feel like, it's something wrong with them. Like, why did the narcissist choose the new supply over them? Why did they just discard them just so like brutally and just so abruptly without any warnings? Maybe they could be posting pictures of them like happy and smiling and kissing, and some of them could be on vacation, and they're thinking like, wow, they're doing all this stuff that I wanted, but they're doing it with someone else, and that really stings a lot of people. It hurts them so bad. So you really just have to understand, a lot of times it's just for show. It's not real. You know what I mean? A lot of times the narcissist is kind of spiting you, but
I was just about to say that.
That's exactly what they're doing. Go ahead.
They're doing all this stuff in spite of you, so you can see it. Like, you begged him to go to the beach for 3 years, and he said he didn't like the beach and he don't like sand and sun. 2 weeks after y'all break up, or 2 weeks into his new relationship, he taking her on a 7-day cruise and Mexico on the beach, rolling in the sand, writing names. So you sitting there like, I thought you said, I spent 3 years. I was like, girl, he just didn't do it because you wanted to do it. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Because he saw how much it meant to you.
It meant to you.
I'll not do that,
Yep. And then some of them will actually get married. They will get married quickly. Yeah, that can really sting a lot of people. That's really, it's devastating. It really is.
Yep.
So and you just really gotta just have the type of mind frame where you understand like they're doing this on purpose. And it's not personal, but it's like it's just a part of the ending of that relationship, because the narcissist, they're hurt too. Like you've given them a narcissist. You've given them a narcissistic injury, whether you left them or they had to discard you. They didn't really want to have to discard you.
Right.
They didn't want to, because they have to do all the work now and getting another supply. They got to do the fake love bombing. Yeah, they got to start over. So they're like, dang, like they're making me do this. So I got to get back at them,
Yeah, because I had a friend, and she had been in the narc cycle for years and stuff like that. And some had came out and she finally cut him off, and so he went and proposed to the girl that was the other part of their triangulation. Went and proposed to her. It's all on Facebook.
Wow.
You proud and this, that, and the other. But she didn't care. But we knew that he was trying to make her care. And I kept saying, girl, he's gonna come back around. He's gonna come back around.
Oh yeah.
He was like, no, I don't think so. Girl, a week after he proposed to that other girl, he done came back to my homegirl talking about he want to be with her. I can give you a ring too.
Oh
she
no.
Was like, so who's gonna be the real fiance then? She was like,
wow.
Their thing is she had to keep their whole 7 years secret. So now you telling me I'm gonna get a ring, so I'm gonna be a secret fiance now? Like, they will try anything.
Yeah. Sure will.
anything. They
Yeah.
really think they can go marry somebody and come back to you like, hey, let's pick up where we left off. I was
Yeah.
just playing. I just did that to get you mad.
Like
You
nothing ever
married
happened.
somebody?
And some of them will even have children. They would
Yeah.
even have kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get somebody pregnant and you'd be like, wait, I wanted to have kids and you didn't want to have kids with me, you know?
Yep. I was like, that spite can drive
Oh
me
yeah,
insane.
it's and you got to remember too, narcissists, they have low self-esteem. Like we may think that, because because narcissists, they do acquire a lot. Like you have some of them that are in really powerful positions, but
Mm-hmm.
they really have a fragile ego. Like,
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
little thing can get them to flip,
Yep.
you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, because she did say he needed a lot of validation. And she was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I gotta be a cheerleader. Like, I
Hmm.
was like, dang, you gotta clap for him every time he does something. I was like, girl.
Yeah, it's a lot dealing with a narcissist. It's very draining.
Yeah.
They'll drain your energy. Like you feel like just weak and just tired all the time. Like you can't do anything because you're so focused on a narcissist. That's how they get
Mm-hmm.
us. Because we forget about ourselves. We forget
Yeah.
about our life, what we want, and we're
Because
just so focused on them.
you start living your life walking on eggshells to make
Right.
them happy. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't do this. I can't say this.
Yep.
And like my first boyfriend, I don't want to say he was a narcissist, but it was like he had more of like a controlling thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like that in itself, I still have the PTSD from that relationship because
Right.
I when I got a real cool boyfriend now that he doesn't sweat me, we got trust and all that kind of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
it's stuff like if I say, oh, I'm about to get off the phone so I can get in the shower, my boyfriend now is fine with that. My
Mm-hmm.
ex-boyfriend, that would have meant I'm bringing a dude over. I'm getting off the phone with you because it's a dude here, and you know what I mean.
Oh, he was
So
insecure.
insecure, really, really bad to the point where even the truth I would have to lie about sometimes. Like if I went out, let's say me and you went out for a good time
Mm-hmm.
and no dudes tried to holler at me, I have to tell him that dudes did try to holler at me and I turned them down because me just saying no, nobody was paying me no attention, that's gotta be a lie. That just can't be the truth,
What?
you know. And I'm
Mm.
like, I'm not even this big, like, mind you, Joy, I'm 36, but I'm 5'2", 100 pounds. So it's not even like I'm just this voluptuous woman that's in a brick house that everybody grabbing all this
Right.
attention where you can't imagine why
Hmm.
somebody won't holler. I say most times grown men don't holler at me because I look too young to holler at.
Oh.
So, so it's like, so now I was like, now I got to make up all these scenarios. And then I had to keep up with the scenarios because if I bring it back up in the wrong kind of way, that mean I lied. That mean I really was with a man.
Yeah,
So,
man.
so it was like, I didn't even realize the damage that had on my psyche until this relationship. Mind you, that was my first relationship, like out of college.
Okay.
I'm 36 now, but this is the first time I've been with a dude that was actually a good man and healthy
Good.
relationship.
Good.
And that's when I realized it was kicking my butt. I was like,
Mm.
I was like that double thing. And it's like, I know how to control it, but it's just so annoying
Yeah.
because it's like, no matter what. And it's like, I'm healed from the relationship. Lord knows I don't want to be with that man no more. But it's like,
Right.
it's just like, oh my God, I annoy myself. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I'm like, all right, I'm getting off the phone. He's like, all right, love you, love you. And in my head, I'm like, oh, you inviting a nigga over. Like, that's what I'm
Yeah, it's
thinking.
just like, man, calm down.
Calm down.
It's
I
not
said,
that
because
serious.
it would never been this easy before.
Mhm.
And so, girl, I was like,
Well,
I was like, relationship
yeah, I'm
hell.
happy that you got into a healthier relationship because the other guy sounds like he was just toxic and just insecure. And maybe like somebody hurt him, and so he was kind of taking that out on you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and we ended up having a conversation at one point. And he allowed me to lay out the phases of our relationship, how it went from good to bad, like a little strange. And I
hmm
know that's why I said I know he's not a narcissist because he received everything I said, and he
okay.
gave me the biggest apology at the end because I was telling him how I'm messed up now off of it and I didn't realize it.
Oh,
And he was like, I want to say I really, really apologize for that. He said, because I never meant to mess you up. He said, especially something long term like that. He said, but I was going through my stuff. And he said, and I was trying to keep you so close that
right.
I basically was squeezing the life out of you. And he was like, and
Hmm.
that's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Well, that's good that he did apologize, though. Yeah, I mean, he sounds like he just could have been, unhealthy or
Yeah,
toxic or
it was in an
something.
unhealthy mental state for himself at that time,
Yeah,
and we was younger, so
right.
you also don't know how to deal with all your emotions. When you like 21, that's the grownest you're gonna be in your life. You know everything, you got it all under control, and it's
Yeah,
like you don't know nothing in real life. Like you
right.
really don't know what you about to go through.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, but yeah, that's definitely that. So I guess going forward, should we talk about the signs of a narcissist, or I guess we kind of
Yes.
touched on. Okay.
Yes. Please.
Yes, ma'am. So the signs of a narcissist, or how do you know if you're dealing with one, is many things. So basically, a lot of narcissists are very critical of you. They are jealous and they are abusive and manipulative. And I just wanted to say, you do have normal people that can behave in this way, but I'm going to keep going and tell you the difference with a narcissist. So, narcissists are very cunning. They will gaslight you, as we mentioned. They'll do crazy making tactics. They're very,
Mm-hmm.
very obsessively controlling. They want to control you. They want to control others, because a lot of times narcissists don't have control in their own life. So they feel like, they want to project that control over your life. So they feel powerful. They feel like, oh, okay, like I'm controlling them.
Right. Right.
And so, but yeah, they have like a sense of entitlement over your life and others. They will play the victim at any chance that they can. When actually, us victims and survivors, we are the actual real victim, but the narcissist will flip it on us. They will blame you for everything, so they never take responsibility or accountability for their actions. So, like again, like when the relationship is over, there's no closure, there's no apologies. It's just kind of like everything is just left up in the air. And a lot of times they like to do that because they don't want to see you moving on. They want to leave that door open just in case if it doesn't work out with that new
Mm-hmm.
supply.
Yeah.
And so if they get bored or something, they'll know that you'll still be there waiting for them, type of thing. And so a lot of them too, they can have a sense of like superiority over others. So they feel like a lot of people are beneath them and they feel like they deserve better treatment over others. And it's just kind of like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, why do you feel like you deserve to be treated better than everybody else? It's like you're a human like everyone, So
Mm-hmm.
and then again, they get too personal too soon. So they're just they're trying to like figure you out, and it can get uncomfortable, and you're just like, wait, let's slow this down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so and a lot of them, they will manipulate you to the point where there's like no regret, there's no remorse for exploiting you and others, and they'll do that for their own personal gain, and they don't care how it makes you feel. And they lack empathy for others. They don't really love at all. Like if they do show any sorts of emotions, it's fake for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few others is they have difficulties with attachments. Like they can't really attach in a genuine way. Like if they do try to attach again, it's like through codependencies or through control mechanisms. They have a lot of chronic feelings of emptiness and boredom a lot. So they're very bored. A lot of them they're kind of miserable. It's really sad.
Yeah.
um
I
and
always wonder what it's like, what they think at night before they go to sleep. I was like, because the
yeah,
day is filled with lies and manipulation. So, like,
right.
I know you exhausted when you lay down at night.
And a lot of them, they do need constant praise and attention, kind of like what we were saying earlier. They need to
Mm-hmm.
feel a lot of admiration from people. If you don't do that for them, then they will feel like, you're the bad person, and they'll try to, force you into giving them all that attention and admiration.
Yep. To the
And
point where you learn how to do it without them forcing you.
yeah, right. And then the last thing is that you will constantly feel demeaned, like kind of like we was talking about earlier. They will like
Mm-hmm.
try to intimidate you. They will try to bully you and belittle you in private, and they will also do this around others in public. So
Yep. And did we talk about future faking?
oh no, we didn't. And that's actually a good one to use. That's a good tactic actually. So with the future faking happens when you are dealing with a narcissist, whether you're dating them, and let's say the narcissist wanted to make you a side chick or a side dude because there are female narcissists, by the way. But if you reject their offer in any way, they'll pretend like they're okay with it. They'll pretend like, oh, okay, like they just want to be your friend, and you know, they're cool with it. And so what they will do is they will get your hopes up, and they will be like, oh, you know what, like, well, once you get this accomplished, or because like for me, the narcissist, I was still living with my aunt at the time while I was dealing with him, and I rejected his offer of being his side chick because I'm like, no, I don't want to be your side chick, you know. And so he pretended like, you know, he was cool with it. Everything was fine. And then we still kept hanging out, which that was a huge mistake, but you know, it's a lesson learned. So as the time went on, you know, we were still going out on dates and just chilling, hanging out. And he would tell me, he was like, you know what, once you get your own place, like, you know, we're going to be together. And, you know, once
you get your place.
Yeah. Like once you get settled in, like, you know, he was like, I've always, wanted to be with someone like you. That's what he told me. He was like, somebody just like you. He's like, I always wanted to be with a person like you. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, okay. So that means like we're eventually going to be together. And so, you know, he said that, and he didn't mean it, of course, because he was
just wanted to add you to the pack.
Yes.
Somebody like you in the bunch.
Yeah. Like to their narc harem, to the flying monkeys, you know, they have narc agents, people that do their dirty work. But anyway, so yeah, like once I finally got my apartment, I was super excited. I was happy because it was like my own place, because I was living with my aunt. She was a narc. And so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, you know, I got my own place. Did you want to come by? And he was saying like, congratulations. He was happy for me. And then he told me he would let me know. And I'm thinking like, okay. So I'm like, that means you busy, like you got something going on. Yeah. And so I just randomly looked on my Facebook page, and you know, I see it said he was in a relationship. And I was like, because mind you, so the thing was like, we was dating. He had a girlfriend. First of all, he lied and told me he was single, and he was actually in a relationship, right? And so then he asked me, he was like, if I wanted to continue doing what we was doing, or if we just wanted to be friends, right? And I basically said like, no, I just want to be friends because you have a girlfriend. And so I think he was single for a while. He was single. And during that time frame, that's when he was telling me he was going to be with me and that he wanted to be with someone like me. But that wasn't the case. So anyway, long story short, I think somehow he got into another relationship while I was still like hoping and wanting to be with him. But it wasn't never going to be like how I wanted to be, because he was always going to have somebody on the side, right? And so anyway, yeah, I saw that he was in a relationship, and I was kind of hurt by that. I was, because I was like, he's with someone, you know? So I think it was like a week later, he ended up calling me because he was in the area, and he was like, hey, I'm in the area, like, can I come by? And I basically told him no. And so that was when everything kind of went downhill. And so yeah, but all of that time frame, he was future faking me, like making me believe we would be together, making promises and making plans and things that never came into fruition. So that's what a narcissist will do, especially like, again, if you give them some sort of narc injury, or if you don't go along with what they want you to go along with, then yeah, that's a future fate. So thank you for bringing that up.
No problem. And another thing I wanted to say that I read before was, ladies, when y'all are out here dating and you know you're going on those first initial dates and getting to know each other, do not list out all your likes and dislikes for a person.
Yes.
Giving them the roadmap
to play you. Yep.
That's all that you're doing.
And you know what, Nikita, I actually did that.
You did?
I did, but let me tell you how. So like the male narcissist that I dealt with when we met, it was based off of like business. And I guess going forward now, I'm just kind of like, business with pleasure. I don't really like to do that anymore. But so essentially, like, we met because he was a music producer and he sold beats online, and he had like this YouTube channel, and I was just like so inspired. I was like, that would be really cool, because my background was in music, and I like grew up in the church, like in church choirs, singing, and high school choir, college choir, all that. I just always been surrounded by music. But anyway, so I reached out to him, and it was just more so like I was intrigued with him, and he basically told me, he was like trying to help me to like pursue my goals and my dreams, and he told me to write down the things that I wanted on an index card. And I basically wrote, yeah, it's like he kind of like got everything that I wanted. He kind of seen it on an index card, and I didn't
Like,
know.
it over
Yeah,
your head,
like I didn't even
correctly.
know that it was gonna go to that extent. I was just like, oh, I saw him as a mentor. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh, we was eventually gonna date. I didn't think of it like that, but that's what happened, and I kind of gave him his ammunition he needed.
Yep.
You know, so
Now
yeah.
you all my eternal hopes and dreams.
Right.
The key to my heart.
Right. And you know what's crazy though, Nikita, at the end? And I guess this was like he had already broke my heart, but he wanted to just kind of do another little like stab. Yeah, like spin it, yeah, then like kind of spin it and hurt it even more. At the end, when I saw that he had another supply or whatever, he asked me, he was like, did I kill your dreams? He asked me that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they say narcissists will tell you exactly what they're trying to do.
Yep. He said that to me.
You gotta know when to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he literally
said that.
I kill your dreams because I know exactly what they are.
Yep.
See, they will.
That's what he did.
Exactly what you want against you. You know, like. Do not. I was like, y'all got to be strategic. So what I heard that they say, you should say like, well, you know, you'll see as you get to know me. You got to be kind of evasive in the question. Don't just say, well, I don't like to list that out. Just like, you know, as we grow to learn each other, you know, we'll see. You know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to tell somebody, oh, I don't like when people chew like this, and then you purposely not chewing like that until I fall in love, and now you got your mouth wide open.
Yeah. And then, you know, for me, and it's not making an excuse, but I didn't really know about relationships. Like my parents really didn't talk to me about any of this stuff. And I didn't have like YouTube outlets. Like YouTube is really like growing big now. So it's a lot of information. But like at the time, like I'm 33 now, but when I was like 20, 21, all this stuff wasn't out there like that, you know? And so it's like, I kind of had to learn as I grew, and my aunt, she was just so focused on herself, and she wanted me to focus on her, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And when I met the narcissist, I think I was like 19, and when we started, I think we started dating when I was like 20. And then another thing I thought was interesting was that when we first started talking back in 2009, like I said, I met him online, but we were talking on the phone too, right? So it's like what he liked to do, he was building a rapport, like, you know, to try to get me to open up and trust him, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of tactics, right? But he asked me, he was like, have you ever been in love before? And I was like, no. But then I was like, why would he ask me that? That's so weird. Like, because we wasn't really I didn't think it was like that. I was like, oh, he's gonna just teach me instrumentals, and then I will go about my way. Like I saw him as a mentor, but then when he asked me, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like he would ask me, have I ever been in love before? And then when I said why, he was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about it? Like,
he said, because I'm about to make you.
Yeah, I'm like, that's so weird. Like, okay. So strange, but yeah. So yeah, those are the signs and the tactics of a narcissist. So you just really want to be careful. And the other thing with me, like I did second guess myself a lot, and I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't trust myself. But now, like more than ever, I absolutely trust myself. And I recommend those listening, ladies, like trust yourself. Like when something feels off, go with it, believe it, don't doubt it. You're not crazy. You know, like the women's intuition is on point.
Yes, it is. And I actually mentioned that in my latest episode because, you know, this month we're doing dating. And I was saying, as far as using your brain to help you level up in the dating world, trust your gut. I was like, don't worry about looking weird or jumping the gun. I said, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, if something feels off, it probably is. Don't expect your date to protect you. You know
right.
What I mean? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
You gotta trust your gut. And it's like, I'm so worried about these girls because I don't know if you've noticed coming up of like how these girls are saying these men got to pay for everything and women don't feel like they need to have anything to bring to the table. And I was like,
Mm.
that's so dangerous because my
Yeah.
mom always told me to have my own in case a man ups and walks out. So even when it comes to these dates, girls, you want these men to take you on these $200 dinner dates, and you come in with no money in your pocket just in
Mm,
case
mm,
this
mm.
man ain't got no money. You don't know what's gonna end up, or you ask him to pay for a $200 dinner, and then when he's looking for something at the end of the night, you looking like, oh no. And it's like, yeah, they're not supposed to expect nothing, but reality is reality. You know, these men, they drop that kind of money on you, they're going to expect some kind of payback, and and it ain't financial.
Right. No, absolutely. Like I'm not sure, like maybe it's just not being taught in the households, or maybe it's just like in the music, TV, movies, whatever. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you have something to offer, and it's not just sexually or
Mm-hmm.
physical appearance, because that doesn't make a man stay or what make them want to be with you. But you also too, you like what Nikita said, you gotta have bring some money with you. Like, don't just go and think like, oh yeah, he's gonna pay for everything, and yeah, he's gonna want something. He wants sex basically.
Yep.
and
Yep.
and if you don't have nothing with you, you got to protect yourself, like, like, so you don't want to just go in there empty handed thinking that
Mm-hmm.
he's going to do all this stuff for free and not going to want anything. Yes, he's going to want something from you. So
Yeah, I was like, some girls go out, y'all don't even have enough Uber money to get yourself home out of a sticky situation,
yes,
you
don't
know?
do that.
Yeah, I was like, when you drive, I was like, of course you need to drive the first few times until you get to know this person, drive or Uber. I said, but when you drive, also make sure you got enough gas in your car to get you from wherever you might end up. Cause we
Hmm.
said we was meeting over here, but then we decided to go party with my people over here. Now you don't realize you 45 minutes from your house,
Right.
and so I just, oh, trust y'all gut, ladies, and be
Yes.
smart.
And
Please be smart.
tell people where you at. Like, don't
Yes,
just be
that's
the only
another
person.
thing.
Yeah, like let
Yep.
a friend or a family member, somebody know like your location.
Because everybody
Or
thinks
Mhm.
sneaky links is so cute. And I was like, girl, don't
No,
be
it's
so
not.
sneaky that can't nobody find you if something happens to you.
Hmm.
I was saying that it's 2023. Send your friends a picture of that man
Yeah.
because I know you got one. I said
Hmm.
his real name, and you shouldn't be going out with people if you don't know their real name. I said, if something happened to you, we don't know who little Tony is, okay, from the
Hmm.
east side. That's not anything that the police can help find your body with, okay?
Right.
Like,
And
take pictures of the license plates as you're walking up to their car. If you getting in the car with them, snap a quick picture of the license plate. Don't make it obvious. Send that
right.
out to your girls.
Mhm.
Don't just keep it in your phone. Like, you need to send it out. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's way more dangerous out here. It's never been safe, but
Right,
it's getting more
exactly.
dangerous by the day.
And
So,
for me, like, I know when I was dealing with the narcissist, I would actually bring a friend with me. Like, so if
mm-hmm.
some of the dates are cool with that, I mean, some of them like, oh, I just want to talk to you. But if you really feel like you want that extra protection, bring a friend or have them wait in the car or something. Or
Yeah, or just have them wait in another part of the restaurant where they can still see you.
right,
Have her
yeah,
be there first. Y'all act like y'all don't know each other, but
mm-hmm,
your girl got your back.
mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So I
yeah,
think this was a great start to the series.
yes, this is great. I hope that it can help somebody.
Yes, me too. I was like, it has to, because once I found out about narcissism, it's like all the things start lining up. Everything like, that's what's wrong with this person. That's why they did this.
Hmm.
And like I
Hmm.
told you when we spoke the other day, I went to school for social work and counseling, and I've never been offered a narcissism class. And I just feel
Wow,
like that you encounter a narcissist more than you're going to encounter a psychopath. Like,
for real, yeah.
so this is people you deal with in everyday
Everyday life.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So getting the word out there is major, major. And anyone
Yes.
listening, if you have narcissist stories you want to send in, you could send us emails. You could leave a voice message. I'll leave the email in the show notes. I'm going to put Joy's email in the show notes as well as her website. And tell them again about you being a abuse coach. So let's go.
Yeah. So, again, I'm a narcissist abuse coach, and I help victims and survivors heal, move on, and recover after dealing with a narcissist. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have courses, 90-day coaching programs. I actually have a free Facebook support group. A lot of you guys are more than welcome to join. You too, Nikita, if you want.
Thank you.
And I do offer readings. And I just actually did release my new book. It's called Reclaim Your Life Back: My Journey into Understanding Narcissism, where I share my experience of dealing with narcissistic abuse, how I overcame it. And it's just basically practical strategies, tips, and methods on how to heal emotionally, rethink, cope, and overcome narcissistic abuse. So,
Okay, yeah, we'll put that link in the show notes too.
yes, ma'am.
And so, yeah, and that's gonna be all for today's episode. But Joy will be back.
Yes, ma'am.
We got an expert in the house. So,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So thank you so much, Joy.
Yes,
Thank you
it's
so
a
much.
pleasure. I'm happy to be a part of this series. And like I said, I just want to help as many people as possible. Don't hesitate to reach out. You're not alone. So yeah, we're here for you. So.
All right, and that concludes today's episode. Joy, I'm gonna text you after we hang this.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Today's episode of the Whole Lotta Woman podcast featuring Joy Larkin. And thank you for tuning in. Always remember, beauty, brain, strength, and standards are what make you a whole lot of woman.
I won't be defined. Stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of. I've been refined. Beauty's divine. All things in God's time. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman.